Do you dedicate time to doing what you love every day? Are you not sure where to start? Well, this week on Motivation and Confidence, I'm going to share my story of my love for hip hop and how I dedicate time to it every day. Stay tuned. All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. And this week we're at episode number 93, and we call this Do What You Love. But before we get started, I want to shout out a couple of spots that have been hanging in with us for the past year. Shout out to all the people in San Jose, California, Chino, Cali, Portridge, Michigan. We got people in Manchester, UK, Birmingham, UK, Phoenix, Arizona, Sydney, Australia, and Singapore. So shout out to all the people that's been tuning in and checking out the podcast. We definitely appreciate you. If there is a subject or topic that you would like for us to discuss, or if you have someone that you'd like to feature as a guest, please send an email to tommydanger, tommydanger @gmail.com. Or you can just head over to the website, tommydanger.com. That's tommdanger.com. And you can leave us a note or comment there. Don't be shy. I do speak to everyone. Or if you're more active on social media, you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. Both handles are Tom Danger. Now, I constantly get hit with, wow, how did you do this? How did you do that? You've gotten this far because you have someone to hold the camera. Now, be totally honest with you right now. No one is holding the camera except for this wonderful $20 tripod that came from Best Buy, which is another story. I had a horrible experience getting this tripod, but we won't talk about that. It is more or less the drive. What drives you? What pushes you? How bad do you want it? And more than that, are you doing what you love? So for those of you who've been following the podcast from episode 1 through 92, you may have noticed, may or may not have noticed, but there's been sprinkles of hip-hop throughout the podcast, starting with Illa G, Christ James, who's a huge promoter down in Atlanta, DJ, all that, MC as well, producer, followed by some more of the notable hip-hop interviews, Kid Capri, Kim Osario, Static Selector, and I probably have at least 40 more notable interviews with people of the hip-hop industry that I plan to share on a different platform, because this may not be the best platform. So we're going to form the Tom Danger Show. For those of you who are interested, it's going to be a little bit more out the box. You know, it's not going to be as calm and as, therapeutic as this episode, although it may be therapeutic for some. But I want to cast the net to a wider audience. This one is very niche, and I appreciate all of you. It's just I'm crazy and I'm always thinking of ideas, so I want to put it in the right aspect so that I don't confuse you guys. Doing what you love. The point of me talking about the hip-hop is because hip-hop has always been my heart, right? Going back to 10 years old, if you go to my Instagram page right now, you'll see a picture of me when I have on these fake gazelle glasses. I got my arms out, and I'm looking scrawny, and I'm against the wall, and I'm trying to look tough. But I thought I was cool. That was the influence of hip-hop. Like, I just knew I was hip. I had a truck cap fastened on the waist of my shorts. And it was a time in my life in which I was being teased, and we talk about the story and all the other shit that went along with it. But in listening to the music and watching the images in the magazines, like, it just made me feel like I was cool. And I never let go of that cool factor to this day. I still, when I get stumped on certain things, I look at hip hop and I look at what the youth is doing, and I look at how free they are. And it reminds me of why I do what I do on a daily basis. It's that sense of, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to do me. And doing me is being an artist, doing music. And you elevate to another level in artistry once you really don't care what people think and you just create. It's like you're on a whole other planet. You reach the level of bliss that is unbelievable. You're just excited about creating. So, real quick story is my sister was dating a guy when I was younger, because she's about 3 years older than me. And I had this record player with a cassette on it. And he had this record called Veronica, Veronica. Now, if you listen to it till this day, if you look it up on YouTube, it's a real shitty record, right? It's like 4 guys or 3 guys doing a beatbox, and it sounds as if they recorded it in like a hallway somewhere, and the beatbox is whack and the rhyme is whack. But it was just something about that record. I just wanted to have it in my possession so bad. So mind you, I didn't have enough money for the record, but I wanted to record a copy from his record onto a cassette because I had a tape. I was putting all my favorite songs. You turn on the radio, Friday night, it's Magic, Red Alert. You flip back and forth between 98.7 Kiss FM and 107.5 for those of you who are in New York and in the tri-state area, in the Bronx. You know about all that stuff. And you wait until your favorite song come on, and that's where the real mixtape came from before anything else. It was listening to the radio, waiting for that song, and pressing record. And once you got it, you was like, you're exclusive. So this record was not being played on the radio because it had like a lot of profanity. So I'm like, all right. His name was Ronald. That was his name. His name was Ronald. And he was a real douchebag, right? And I say that because I know he didn't treat my sister nice. I think he was just trying to get fresh with her, right? And I'm just the truth. I'm not, no BS here. Yo, Ronald, let me get a copy of that. Nah, man, you can't get this. And I'm like practically begging him. And my sister's like, come on, just give him a copy of it. And then by that point, like I literally had tears in my eyes. I'm like, please, just give it to me. Just give it to me. She's like, please, just give him a copy of it. You know what I'm saying? So it was at that moment when I cried for that record that I realized that this is a couple of things. A, I was either an emotional wreck. B, I was crazy. Or C, I seriously had some sort of connection and passion and love for this art form. So after I got that record, I started collecting other vinyls. Like I would just take my grandmother's old records and I like find beats on it. And I found a beat one day and I wrote a rhyme. And that rhyme was about Disney World. And I don't care. It was zippity doo-dah, zippity day. Oh, what it feels like to have a wonderful day. I'm in Disney World at Epcot Center. I see beautiful girls as I enter. Everybody here is cool as can be. Donald Duck, Pluto, Mickey, and me. Now you think I'm lying. On my 4 kids, that's the rhyme I wrote. I never said this publicly before. I don't even think Grace knew this. That is the rhyme. But you see, from 10, I remember it like that. That's what I wrote. Scribbled it down. And I would just say that little broke-ass rhyme over and over. Like I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Do what you love. So I would get composition notebooks. And I would write on the front of it, hip hop for life. And again, I would collect the tapes, listen to music, have my boombox. All the kids would want to come and hang around me because I had the boombox. I would record the song. So when the girls wanted to do the dances, it was like, yo, Tom, you got that? You got that song? Yeah, I got that song. So everybody want to be hanging around. I loved it. I started saving up a little bit of money. I would go to Rockin' Wills on 124th Street. Buy a couple of vinyls. I bought the first couple of records I bought was Sweet Tea, It's My Beat. Another record I bought was The Words I Manifest by Gangstar. And I think another record that I bought was Sweet Tea, Words I Manifest. The First album I bought was the Fat Boys. Right, and it's the one where they got on the yellow satin jackets and they was eating ice cream cones. Right. So by this time, back then all of the records would have, like, when you buy a single, it would have like two versions of the record, the acapella, the instrumental, and then something on the B side. So I would listen to the instrumentals and I'd still be writing my rhymes. Now, growing up, I'm a total square. Everybody else is dressing cool. I'm in like a cardigan with like a t-shirt and like these skip sneakers on, while everybody else is rocking like Converse. And when the first red, black, and white Jordans came out, like, I never had none of that stuff, right? So everybody looked at me like I was weird. So to add to the weird factor, now you got this kid that looked like Mr. Rogers that thinks that he can rap. So when everybody else is in the park rapping or in school rapping, and I start saying my rhymes, they be looking at me like I'm crazy, because I think I would say it at a tone that was just so soft that you wouldn't really know that I was rapping until you heard like the last three words. And you'd be like, and I'm the best. I'd be like, well, what you just say? Like, nobody's paying attention to you. You know what I mean? Time went on. You in the lunchroom, junior high school. Everybody's saying their rhymes. And I could always do the beat. I don't want to mess up that. Right? So I could do the beat on the table while everybody else is rhyming. So when they stop rhyming, I come in and I'm the best. And it's like somebody caught it when they was like, oh, Tom, you can rhyme. Cool. Now they're like, all right, you're going to be part of the group. So we're going to do a talent show. It's like one of the worst groups ever. We look so silly, right? We look horrible. We had backup dancers that couldn't dance. They was all uncoordinated. But I loved every moment of it. I never stopped. Started doing other talent shows. Wound up doing a talent show where I performed down at City Hall here in the city. Some dude from a group named UTFO was performing there. Got on there, did my set. Everybody was like, oh yeah, it was dope. And this other kid got up there and they couldn't find his tape or record or something. I tried to do the beatbox. Got up there, tried to do the beatbox. My beatbox skills isn't that good. Got booed off the stage. So it was like joy and pain all in the same day. But I was just having so much fun that it really didn't matter. Fast forward the time, and after doing little talent shows here and there, reached the high school. Everybody else still rhyming. I'm still a dude. Could do the beat on the table. Nobody else could do the beat and rhyme at the same time, and I would do that. So in telling this story, as you can see, I have always made time and found time to do what I love. Now, even if I wasn't rhyming, I was collecting mixtapes, collecting vinyl, reading magazines, just staying in the mix. This is what I love to do. Like, whether or not I ever make a dime from it, I'll do it till I close my eyes. So, in high school, one of my classmates was named Bruce Wayne, the guy that produced 21 Questions for 50 Cent and J-Lo and Justin Bieber and Frank Ocean and all this. Like, he's did his thing. Did a talent show with him, and he plugged me and left into a record label. I think it was called Tribal Records. He had got a record deal while he was still in high school. He was like sophomore, right? Got his deal. Didn't really do well, but he made enough money back then to where, he got himself situated and got into producing, took off. So I went there, had made a little situation for a second. I was like this close, fell through, all good. Wound up having my son early. Grace and I. 18 years old, because we always argue about the date and time. It was more or less 19, but we argue, right? So now I got to take care of my family. And even as life went on, I always had this plan in the back of my mind, like, okay, I'm going to go to school. When I graduate, I'm going to become a food inspector, work 9 to 5, and then after 5, I'm going to work on my art. Didn't work out like that. I wound up working in the hotel, working crazy hours, 3 in the afternoon, 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So like the days are always shot. There was no such thing as weekends. Like the days off would be like a Monday, Tuesday, or just all over the place. But I always managed to set aside pockets of time to do what I love. Time goes on, so I stayed at this particular job for about, almost 7 years, I think I was at the hotel. And I was still dibbling dabbling, like doing my music off and on, off and on, off and on. But I never really put it out there. Like I would think I created a SoundClick page or a MySpace page. And wound up leaving the hotel, right? So once I left the hotel, decided, we're going to go hard body with the music now. This is all I'm going to do. Wind up getting a part-time job. If you notice in all these stories that I'm telling you, somehow always find my way back to the music, right? So we create the moniker, the Now and Later Man, right? I want to connect with something from my childhood, and which is the candy, like soft taffies. You can Google it online in different flavors. So I said, I'm going to be the Now and Later Man. I'm going to give away candy. And I'm going to name my mixtapes in different flavors and all this stuff. And it was like the craziest thing. We'll walk around the streets in New York to different clubs and like, hi, I'm the Now and Later Man. Here's a pack of Now and Laters. And people would look at me the same way you guys are looking at me right now on the camera like, well, he must be crazy. Yes. Crazy and in love with the idea of creating art and doing hip hop. And it gave me this sense of confidence where, again, I don't give a fuck. I'm walking through the illest hood. We in the illest hoods. Walking up to whoever. Here's a pack of Now Laters. What? What are you talking about? I'm the Now Later Man. Check out my website or something. We'll put like these little labels on the back of the Now Laters we would do. Give them out. People are like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Build up a little buzz. Keep going. Mind you, life goes on. So for those of you who always say like, I don't have time, and what about the kids, and such, you have to find a way to bring people into the mix of what you're doing. After a while, Grace has pretty much been my manager for the longest. Producer for the longest. Like if I have an idea, if I'm not sure about something, Grace, what you think about this? Kids, Dad recording right now. Okay, Dad, no problem. Be quiet. Even like now with the podcast, the kids in the room, they know like, Dad recording right now. You have to make time for what it is that you love to do. And the thing that here's the analogy that I always use. I don't think people like this, right? But if you are in a relationship with somebody and you want to step outside that relationship to be with somebody else, you do whatever you can do. Lie, cheat, make time to be with this person or that thing temporarily. Like you make time for it. So I don't buy it when people say like, oh, I don't have enough time to do. It's not that you don't have enough time. You choose not to make the time. And on top of that, it may not be something that you really love. It may be something that you dabbling in. So have you done enough things to really know, like, this is what I love to do, or is this something that you like to do? That's a huge difference. You can like somebody, you can like a lot of people, but when you're in love with a person, that's on a whole nother level. Do you love it, or do you like it? Are you just trying to do it because everybody else is doing it, and it seems like the cool thing to do, and it seems as if somebody else is making a shitload of money and you're tired of your life, so you're thinking, you're looking over there at them saying, well, if they do it, I'm going to do it too because I'm tired of my life and I'm going to make the same amount of money. If you go into it thinking that you're doing this just for the money, you're going to fail. The money is going to be temporary. The love, the love will carry you. And we're not talking about the love for the relationship. We're not talking about marriage love. We're talking about the love and the passion for what you have to do. Do you wake up in the morning thinking about, this is what I want to do? Like, before I would do interviews with other artists, I would dream about it. I would dream that I'm having a conversation with Ghostface. I would dream that I'm having a conversation with CL Smooth. Like all these people, like I seen them in my dream. Like I'm having conversations with them. Like how bad I wanted it in my mind. Like how hard it would manifest itself. Side note, I did not interview Ghostface. It was just, didn't interview him. The person that I would like to interview did go see Wu-Tang a couple months ago. It was pretty dope, right? But amongst other very, very well accomplished artists, Martin G, Tyga, I don't know, Kid Capri, 3-6 Mafia, Slim Thug. There's a bunch of people who are still making noise to this day. But I would see it in my mind. So even now, still making music, life still goes on, and I have a ton of bricks on my back. Every time before I record something, I guarantee you I've had a hell of a day or a hell of a moment before I've done it. But I always make the time. You make the time. If you could find time to do shit that you know you're not supposed to do, or if you could find time to be lazy, you can find the time to do what you love. And that's what it is. A lot of people they be lazy. It ain't gonna fall from the sky. You gotta put the work into it till it becomes second nature. And starting out and doing what you love, you may have to look for pockets of time that is literally just a minute. Oh, I got this idea. Let me write it down right quick. I did what I could do for today. I got this. Yo, my boy G, Illa G, writes a bar for rhymes that whenever he's driving, every stoplight. When he first said that, I'm like, oh, he must be full of shit. But when you look at his rhyme catalog and the diversity of his bars, dude has an arsenal. But he loves it. So ask yourself, are you really devoting the time to do what you love to do? And if you're not sure what it is that you love to do, just try a bunch of different things. And you'll know when you get that feeling. And give it some time. Like it's not going to happen right away. Try it for a while. Try it for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Put some time into it. And if over time you don't get that tingly feeling for it, and if it feels like it's a work, it's a task, don't do it. But I would say just whatever free time you have, just donate it to your passion project and what you love. Right? Let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments. This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. Thank you for tuning into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. Like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Check us out on various platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Overcast, Castbox, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, TuneIn, or Alexa Media.